right, what's happening, y'all? It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington. I am here with my review for the season finale of She-Hulk Attorney at Law on Disney Plus. If you ain't seen this shit yet, I advise you to come back because it's gonna be hella spoilers. First off, thank you to everybody who has taken the entire 9-episode ride with your boy. I appreciate y'all. I have had so much fun talking about this show from the very beginning, from the very first episode, from when I was blessed with the first 4 episodes with the screeners like many of us were, and who do the coverage of these shows and stuff, until now. I had no idea what to expect. I was just earlier today, the day before, I was on New Rockstar's break room and we were talking about our predictions for the finale. And, everybody predicted certain things, but I don't think any of us could have in any way imagined what we were going to get. And I don't say that as a bad thing at all. This shit started out, first of all, they put Jennifer Walters, Tatiana Maslany in the classic Incredible Hulk introduction with Bill Bixby when he was in the chair. They just replaced it with her and recreated that shit. It was fucking beautiful. And then they called her the Savage She-Hulk. You see, talking about online trolls, intelligentsia, everything, dealing with all that. She's locked up in the damage control prison where Blonsky was, and Mallory, Pug, and Nikki come as her attorneys. And, Jen is like, yo, we need to go find intelligentsia, sue them, et cetera, and try to do that. And Mallory's like, yo, all they saw was an out-of-control Hulk. They don't care about the reason you snapped. They just care that you snapped. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This finna resonate with a lot of people, I'm finna say. Primarily to my black brothers and sisters who fuck with your boy heavy. That is what we deal with on a daily basis. And I'm going to say this especially for me as a bigger black dude who, when my presence for a lot of people is intimidating, who if you don't know me, you think that if I snap, I can snap out and everything happens. And the fact of the matter is, if I happen to snap, if somebody pisses me off, if somebody violates my space, my mental space, or things like that, if someone disrespects me on a high regard, and if I snap back, no one cares about the actions that led up to it. They only care about my reaction to it, the way I dealt with it. And that is outside of the public figure space. That's outside of the celebrity, the whatever you may call it. That's outside of it. It's just the what did you do? And that's how. So that resonated heavily for me real quick. And I don't know how many other people saw that and thought about that. But again, when we talk about the story of Jennifer Walters, look, we have heard in the news and all this other shit, women who have killed their attackers, who have killed to free themselves, and yet they are held responsible. They are sentenced and shit like that. It's not the dudes that put them in this terrible situation. It's them. So this resonated heavy. But to find out, Mallory done made a deal for Jen to go free, and the deal was she had to wear an inhibitor, of course. Keep it from being She-Hulk. So by her being She-Hulk, she loses her job at GLK&H because remember, they only hired her to be She-Hulk. They did not hire Jennifer Walters. So she's losing her job there. She loses a place. She got to move back in with her parents. Her mom already told her, like, yo, I got my gym equipment in your room. I do my workout at 7 a.m. You can come join me. And, Jen don't want to have to move back. And then she's in the bed talking about, is her story going to be like this and whatnot? And then she does a fourth wall break. And then the narrator happens and she stops the narrator like, no. So then she decides. So Nikki gets a video from Jen's mom of Jen in law school twerking and dancing. Nikki takes the video and uploads it to intelligentsia, using it to try to find out where they are, to figure out who they are. Because, again, Nikki and Jen have been trying to figure out how to find out who these guys are. Everything's been a dead end. And so she uploads it and she gets invited to this party. And it was like, see you soon, bro. She realizes she can't go. She gets Pug. Pug goes in there. Her and Pug drive to a location, to a lodge, right? And Pug's like, yo, I'm not like these dudes. Like, I don't want to do this. Walks in, she says, yo, just remember to always refer to women as females. Oh my God. Really shit we've been hearing. So, of course, the conversations. Why does there even need to be a She-Hulk? Is there even a He-Hulk? Um, Lady Thor, she just sucks. And I would say, I'm not saying it because she's a woman. I would say there was a man too. All the bullshit that this show has been so great on doing and putting the internet bullshit and putting it right in front of people's faces. And again, the dudes who talk like that, the people who act like these assholes, these imbeciles, these idiots, they hate it because it's being reflected on them. You find out Todd is a part of intelligentsia, and not only is he a part of it, he created it. You find out that he is actually Hulk King. Now, people have said that. I was under the impression it might have been a leader, but whatever. But then you get one step further. You find out intelligentsia is having their... So Jen decides she needs to get away. She needs to take a mental break. She goes to Blonsky's retreat because she's tried to call Blonsky and get an answer. He said it was an open invitation. She goes to his retreat. You find out that intelligentsia is actually meeting up at Twilight Summers, Blonsky's retreat. And Blonsky is now Abomination doing motivational speaking. So here's where it happens. All of a sudden, Jen tries to find a Blonsky to go talk to him. She walks in, sees him talking, sees intelligentsia. Everything's going on. Nikki and Pug break in. Everything's going crazy. Todd has stole the blood, of course, to try to make himself a Hulk. He injects himself. He becomes a weird-looking ass douchebag bro Hulk. While he's dealing with that, here comes Bruce to make the save the day, starts fighting Abomination. All this crazy shit happens. But then Jen does a fourth wall break, was like, yo, this don't make no sense. None of these storylines make sense, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, bro, we get the splash page for Disney Plus in the Marvel section. Oh my God, we are fourth wall breaking for real. She goes out of the She-Hulk thing into Marvel Assembled. And what happens? She is on the Disney lot. And I'm going to tell you something. As somebody who has been on that Disney lot numerous times, I was like, yo, this is the real fucking lot. And she's actually on the lot. She goes on the lot and then goes into the She-Hulk production office. So at that moment, I was like, we fourth wall breaking for real, right? We didn't went outside of this show. I'm like, are we really about to go and do this? Did we get to that part right here? Yeah. I'm thinking we're not going to see the real writers. Those were the actual writers, producers of the show. They are sitting them down in the storyline. They're talking about what we're going to do for season 2, things like that. She-Hulk really fucking walks in. I know this is the real writer's room because my homie Cody was sitting there who wrote the episode before. Jessica Gal was I was like, yo, is this really happening? She-Hulk is asking, why are they doing this to the thing? This makes no sense. Why does Todd have to have powers? All this other shit is happening. So then they're like, yo, you got to go talk to Kevin. I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, you got to go talk to Kevin. She's like, all right, I'm going to talk to Kevin. She goes on the elevator in the Disney building. Again, this is real. Like, yes, it's the show, but the elevator that goes when you get off the Marvel Studios floor, that is a real fucking thing. That is a real thing that happens. Anybody that's been in that building knows. She goes to the reception that says, I want to talk to Kevin. And the reception says the realest thing too. Sign the NDA. Anybody that knows that anything you do with Marvel, if you're in that studio, if you're in that building, you have to sign NDAs to everything. And then all of a sudden now here comes security. She is fighting them to Lotto's big energy. Love it. But this is where it got so much better. She said she was going to Kevin's office. She goes into this room that she thinks Kevin's office, and it's a screen playing all of the MCU movies. It is literally the movies playing. And then a giant AI drops that is K.E.V.I.N, K.E.V.I.N. It is Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus. And he says he'll answer all her questions. But she has to turn back to Jennifer. And then Jennifer asks why. He says, because you are expensive. But do it while you're off camera. This is real shit about the show within the show. She talks, breaks it down. All of a sudden, he says, look, it costs money for different things. She's talking about what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is. She uses those words. She says the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all these things. And long story short, she's talking about different things. At one point, she's trying to get ready to leave. And she's like, can I turn back? She's like, yeah. He was like, the visual effects team, Kevin tells Jen, the visual effects team has moved on to something else. And you hear the doo-doo-doo, the Wakanda drums. So the visual effects team that's doing She-Hulk is on to Wakanda forever. What the fuck is happening? Jen talks, and then Kevin says at one point, some projects are supposed to be better than others, but I leave that debate to the internet, which is for real. Some shit Kevin Feige said. Jen says, people have said often that Marvel movies end the same way. And she said, who said that? And then she says, yeah, the whole thing with, Todd getting the Hope House is like the super soldier serum. She said, so she stops Kevin because Kevin was trying to break down things. She was like, yo, this shouldn't happen. Like, Todd shouldn't get superpowers. Bruce shouldn't be here to save the day on my show. And he says, but Bruce was supposed to explain and then stop. We were about to introduce, and it says, save it for the movie. What fucking movie? Is this Captain America 4 we talking about? But then this is where it blew. I think this might have been the part that blew everybody's mind. Jen asked question, what's up with daddy issues with everybody? Tony Stark, daddy issues. Thor, daddy issues. Loki, same daddy issues. Star-Lord, two daddies, daddy issues. All these things. But then she goes and says the one thing everyone on the internet has been asking for the longest. She directly says, when are we getting the X-Men? And looks. A fourth wall break and a fourth wall break and a fourth wall break. But then, it's like, yo, she comes back. She's like, we smashing. That's what Hulks do. Bruce smashes through buildings. She says, I smash fourth walls and bad endings. I also smashed Matt Murdock. Also, she tells her to bring back Daredevil. She was like, I can use that. A woman has needs. And Kevin even says in the thing, we have forgotten about that often, which is true, which has been a vocal complaint that the men always have love interest and do these things, but the women don't get their rock. So that's why She-Hulk getting hers in, She-Hulk fucking has been such a groundbreaking thing for the MCU. So she comes back. All of a sudden, she's back at Twilight Summers. This daytime now. She says also, stop making the fight at night. Make it in the daytime. It's daytime. Police is there. Everything. Damage control. Daredevil drops in. Jen, I'm here to save the day. It's like, yo, you're too late, Daredevil. Titania trying to flirt with him. Everybody ends up back at Jen's parents' house for a nice family barbecue. Matt's there eating, everybody enjoying. Jen's aunt trying to flirt with Matt, and then Jen's uncle had to pull away, like, bitch, you don't get your ass over it. Then Bruce shows up, and Bruce says, sorry I've been gone, but it's somebody I want y'all to meet. And everybody, I said this was going to happen. I want y'all to meet my son, Scar. What? So then they have a family dinner. That's pretty much the end of the episode until we get a post-credit where Blonsky, I'll say, by the way, forgot to mention, Blonsky has to go back to prison for violating his parole, turning back to Abomination. He's in jail. Guess who comes to break him out of jail again? Wong. Blonsky says to Wong, what took you so long? Were you in another TV show? He says, yeah. You know what? Wong says, this is peak TV. And then he takes him off the Carmitage. Bro, this show did something. When I said, people been like, Marvel is doing the same things over and over. They aren't taking chances, which has been a bold-faced fucking lie. Phase 4 has been all about taking different chances and doing different things. Whether they all hit the mark or not, they have taken chances. Miss Marvel is an MCU Nickelodeon show. Werewolf by Night is a different thing from them. She-Hulk is something different, and to do what they have done, the way they wrap this up with a bow, we don't know. Even She-Hulk was like, yo, he told at one point when she was talking to Kevin in the movie on the big screen, and he was like, yo, she's like, I'm going to the big screen. He was like, no, we don't know for sure. Again, we don't know if Captain America New World Order includes the Hulk. We know it includes the leader, which I'm kind of upset we did not get in this series. But I've always said this. I've had expectations, and if my expectations aren't met, I don't get upset because I wasn't promised anything. The one thing I was promised was supposed to be a show to enjoy, and I've done that. This shit hit on everything, and Tatiana Maslany has nailed the character to a T. I don't know where we're gonna see her next. I'm assuming pretty much because there's been a whole lot of season two talk. So She-Hulk is definitely getting to season two, and I'm here for it. To take a character who was the initial character that broke the fourth wall in the comics, to use that and bring that to life on the screen, and to already dispel what a lot of people going, well, see, everybody just tried to be Deadpool. No. What this did is let you know that if you can go this level with her, you can do these things with her. You literally have broken the fourth wall to where you put She-Hulk in real life outside of the MCU. You brought her to real life to address her own fucking writers, her production, the AI version of Kevin Feige. You let her do this unless you know Deadpool could fuck around and do Daredevil kills the Marvel Universe. Not Daredevil, Deadpool. I'm sorry, it's late. Deadpool kills the Fox universe. He could potentially kill them off, and it would work. Daredevil works because this is a different. Kevin Feige said it's kind of a different Daredevil. Yes, it is Charlie Cox playing him, but it's a different Daredevil. This has been amazing. This was epic. I had to tweet this out where I said, pardon my expression, but holy fucking shit. They nailed this on so many levels. Now people gonna try to nitpick and complain about certain things and well, I don't like how they did this, address that. I felt this is blah blah blah. No, they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and I think if anything, more than just Tatiana Maslany solidifying herself as this character and a future within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everyone on the writing team of She-Hulk has pretty much solidified themselves a future with TV writing. I already know the homie Cody is writing on the new Futurama, writing on so many other shows. Rick and Morty's done so much and he's doing so much, and I'm proud to say that I know him. And I just think the doors open immensely for this. But overall, this show, it ended perfectly because the ending that they were giving, that it made it seem like they were going to give us, was so convoluted and made no sense. But that would have been what everybody thought was going to happen. And to have her break the fourth wall, change all that shit to the way, yo, whose show is this? This is my show. It should end this way. Perfect. For her to, at the end, to go back to law in the courtroom to sue Todd, and to be interviewed by the reporter was like, somehow how if you're harassing people, this, that, and the third, you got to deal with it. And he was like, how would you deal with it, as a lawyer or a She-Hulk? And she says both. She's embracing who she is. I'm here. I'm excited, and I'm here for it. I am so upset that this show is now done. Now we have a couple of weeks before we get ready for Wakanda Forever. When do we see She-Hulk again? I don't know. We know season 2 pretty much is coming. We don't know if she's going to be in Captain America 4. We don't know what other movie. But this shit just played great. My energy and enthusiasm for it to be almost 2 a.m. right now is through the roof. But I want to know your comments, your thoughts in there, down below. As always, regardless of any and everything, keep it civil. We talking about comic book shows. Chill out. All right? Follow your boy on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Check out the Man Titan podcast. Everywhere you get your podcast from, myself and my co-host BC. Every Monday we drop it. Get you caught up in all the things happening in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. It is Barbershop Talk for Nerds. Come on in the convo. American Gigolo on Showtime. Yes, I play Luther. You can catch me right now in episodes 2 and 3, and Luther will return in episode 8, the season finale of American Gigolo as well. So check that out. If you want to send some love in the super thanks below, please do that. it means so much. A little donation here and there. You know what I'm saying? So do that. All right. Holla at y'all on another video. I got a bunch of stuff coming, trailer reactions, movie reviews, and more. Everything here on the channel. Stay tuned, plug with me. Holla at y'all later. I'm out. Bye.